Hi, students. I'm going to give you a very brief introduction to Israeli demography. And you can see the PowerPoint introducing the demographic features of Israeli society. Demography is the study of statistics, such as births, deaths, income, or the incidence of disease. Um, so that's demography. They're professionals that do this. And we're going to look at a website that has this the go-to site for understanding the demographic features of Israeli society. It's the Central Bureau of Statistics, Israel, and it's online. And you just Google that, and you'll get to this site. There's a lot on here: publications, Statistylite pamphlets. We're going to be looking at one of those. All sorts of stuff: maps, presentations, news, data bank and tools, how they do their work, and you can look at the site in Hebrew if you want, which I don't think you will. At any rate, under the population and demography link here, drop-down menu, we're going to click on this, and we're going to get to this page, and we're going to look at this one, Israel population on the eve of its 68th Independence Day. So that was 2016, and so that's pretty current. And we get to this media release, which I've just made bigger. Now, I want you to see the second bullet. Jewish population numbers approximately 6,377,000 residents. So 74% of that of Israel's total population is this. Let's say 75% of the total population is Jewish. The Arab population is 20% of the total, 1,771,000. And then there's a population of others, non-Arab Christians, members of other religions, and so on. And that's 374,000. I'm not sure how you get to be not classified by religion, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Anyway, now I want you to notice up here, this little footnote 1, and you go down, they don't count. It tells you it does not include the foreign population, 192,000 people, which is a lot. It's about a third of the others. At any rate, I want you to look at the fourth bullet. And you can see there have been approximately 195,000 infants born since last Independence Day, so in the past year, and 47,000 deaths. So far more people are being born than are dying, and 36,000 new immigrants. What you're going to learn, what you're going to see here is immigration is regarded as a really good thing. Great. We want immigrants. That's Israel's attitude. We want immigrants. You're going to see the second page is like a brag sheet. Remember, it's a media release. So it's this picture, then and now. So they tell you the date of then and now. So in 1948, there were 11.5 million Jews in the entire world. Now there are 14 million Jews. 6% back then lived in Israel. Now 43% of all Jews in the world live in Israel. Population entirely, you've seen that. You can see unemployment is lower than it was. People spend far less on food. Can you imagine spending 42% of your monthly income on food in 56, but now it's 16%. This is sort of interesting. 20% of your monthly expenditure is on transportation and communications. Like, what's that? And I think we have a clue over here. People have phones, a landline, and at least one mobile phone. To go to Israel, people are always on their phone. Anyway, but it shows you a certain level of, advancement in society, higher education. This is sad. 86.9% voted in 49. They were so excited. And now only 72.3%. Too bad. Anyway, let's go back to the main page and we're going to go to another thing. We go to the households and families, and there's demographic characteristics. Click. And we're going to go to the bottom where this little statistolite booklet. And what we're going to do is look at some of the tables, which are very interesting. The cover. Tel Aviv looks like to me at the beach. At any rate, okay. We're going to look at a number of these tables. So illustration 1 shows the population growth over the years. Now we're now 2017. This is what they imagine in 2020 and in 2030. How excited they are. We're growing, we're growing. Even though it's a dinky little country with not enough water. And if you look at the gaps here, or the growth, like there's a big growth between 48 and 60, because that's when a lot of the DPs came in and the Jews from Muslim lands came in mass. And also there's going to be a big leap between, in the 1990s, that's the Russian immigration. About 1 million Russians came in. And you can go back and read this text. It's not hard. It's easy to get. It's interesting. Now, table illustration 3, I'm not sure what happened to illustration 2, but illustration 3 shows you this drop in immigration. But keep in mind, this was a huge, in the 1990s, 200,000 came in, and then 170,000 and so on. But you also have 1989. Like I said, about 1 million came in over the course of that period. So that was pretty outrageous. And it's gone down, but it's not dropped entirely. That is immigration. The next one is an interesting feature of population split between the Arabs and the Jews and the others. And notice that the Arabs are slightly increasing and the Jews are slightly decreasing. And so are these mysterious others, Druze. What did I say before? I don't think Armenians are increasing. But anyway, you can look at the text. The others are increasing. This is a little bit of distressing for Israelis. But you have to understand, with this growth and this focus on immigration, is that population growth is regarded as a really good thing. It's considered an affirmation of the state's fulfillment of its mission as providing the Jewish people with a secure state in which it can thrive. Again, even though the land area is quite small and 60% Jews are still living elsewhere, that's still quite a bit, 43% there. So they're really happy that more Jews are coming, and it concerns them if the number of non-Jews is increasing. Okay, let's look at the next table. This is interesting. This shows you the breakdown of the ages in the society. On the left-hand side is Switzerland. And you can see, and here's the age. You can see the biggest age cohort in Switzerland are the 40-year-olds. So the bulk is in the middle, and there are not as many kids being born. Whereas on this side with Israel, it's very kid rich, a lot of babies, a lot of people having children. And so it's not an aging population. Someone's there to support the old people like me, but I'm not living there. Anyway, so here is another table, the average age at first marriage, selected countries in 2008. So here's Israel compared to all these developed countries, first world countries, USA, Switzerland, France, Spain, Italy, Germany. Okay, so the average age at first marriage in 2008 in America for groom was 27.6 years. Some were younger, some were older. And for brides, it was 25.9. But Israel is younger than all of those. People are getting married younger than in other sort of developed countries. Um, Here is a chart, 7, total fertility rate by religion within Israel. So yellow is 1990, light blue is 2000 and 2009. So you can see the fertility rate has not dropped. It's like 3 births per woman, is that it? Something like that. Now, among Jews, it's slightly less, but it's going up. And we know that's because the ultra Orthodox, the Haredi, are having many, many babies per family. Um, and Muslims are the highest, 4.7, but it's dropping. And same thing with Christians, 2.6, slightly less than the Jews, slightly but less than the Muslims, dropping. Same thing with Druze, almost as high as Muslims and dropping. And typically in a country that's like a democracy, free market economy, these developed countries, these first world countries, if the birth rate is dropping because women are choosing not to have as many children, and that will happen when you give them college educations. They just don't want to have as many. They delay starting their family, therefore they can't have as many, and they're going for a quality of their life, which is usually not more. I mean, you don't want to have that many kids because you're just going to be worn out, etc. Who's going to take care of them? Not the husband enough. Anyway, enough of my editorializing. But anyway, let's compare Israel to these other countries. Again, birth rate in Italy, Spain, and so on. Israel way higher, much higher. And I don't have on here Japan, which is way down here. Israel's annual population growth rate is more than 3 times faster than the 35 OECD countries. Oh, you see this up here, OECD. These are the 35 countries in the world that are democracies and that have a free market economy. So they again, higher level of education, equality, and so on. And women are simply having fewer babies, getting married later, and so on. But Israel has a very high fertility rate by them, compared to them. Now, the rest of this little statistic-like thing has stuff on mortality, death rates, why are people dying, where they're living, population, and so on, households and families. Living alone, look, more people are living alone, and so on, family types, and so on. So you can go back to this and enjoy reading it on your own. That's it.